and welcome to the sparsely awaited second episode of my occasional and half-arsed side series, the Q Sport Diaries, a series documenting the televised parts of my attempted return to competitive pool. To recap episode 1, I'd just reached the quarter-final stage of the first tournament I'd entered in 4 months, losing out in a deciding frame to eventual tournament winner, Jonas Lunama. However, having been competitively rusty throughout the day, missing chances, and still coming that close against the player who ultimately won the whole event, I turned up to the following week's tournament full of confidence, thinking that if I could just up my game by 5%, maybe this could be my week. However, Nathan, I have news for you.
What is it, baby?
We have the top 3 players in Finland coming today, and you're up against one of them in the first round.
It's cool, baby. It's cool.
And yeah, that didn't work out too well for me. Luckily though, tournaments at Groovetown Jack are double elimination, making it basically Finland's version of the US Open. I therefore rallied to win my next 2 matches and get myself into the last 16, where I raced into a 4-0 lead. However, out of seemingly nowhere, I then channeled my inner Greg Norman, had a bit of a collapse, and went on to lose 7-6. Thankfully, unlike the real Greg Norman, I stopped short of going on to befriend Donald Trump and then selling my soul and reputation for a lorry load of Saudi blood money. Oh yeah, I then got hopelessly lost on the way home and didn't get back until around midnight. For a day that began with me encountering an elderly woman who stopped dead in her tracks to aggressively hiss at some frozen bushes, and included a couple of brutal defeats, this seemed as fittingly cursed an end to my weekend as any. The week as a whole wasn't a total bust though. In the days leading up to the tournament, I underwent a major life-changing event. Specifically, I went from being a man who didn't own a beret to becoming a man who now owns a beret. And at the tournament itself, my old interests in sociology and geopolitics were piqued, when despite the interaction in question being between an Austrian man and a Romanian man, I accidentally eavesdropped on what is, quite possibly, the most Finnish conversation to ever take place.
Sorry, I kept calling you to the table. I didn't realize you were having a dump.
That's okay.
The following week, I started rather more positively, winning my first 2 matches and playing somewhere pretty close to my best. However, as has been a recurring theme for me in double elim competitions as of late, the multi-hour wait between the double elimination stage and the single elimination stage would prove to be my undoing, struggling to get going again, and ultimately losing 7-6 in the last 16, following a frankly unforgivable in-off in the deciding frame when I had a decent chance to win. Unfortunately, during the 2 tournaments I've just described, none of my matches took place on the TV table, meaning I didn't have anything to make a new video out of. However, the following week, all that was set to change. Having once again won match 1, I was drawn against pre-tournament favourite and serial competition winner at Groovetown Jack, Robin the Rocket, and the showdown was to take place on the TV table, streamed live to a rabid audience of over 1,000 people, and then cannibalised by yours truly at a later date to make YouTube content for you bored people. In the end, despite going 2 frames behind early on in the match, I rallied to eventually win 7-5 in what was, most definitely, one of my best performances in years. I was delighted to have won the match, thrilled with the way I'd played, and excited that it had all been captured on film, that I'd get to share this triumph with my audience, and that the footage would live on long after I'm dead, so that future generations could watch it back and say to each other, you know what, he may have achieved nothing else in his life, but that guy sure could play pool. However, so do you want the good news or the bad news?
Give me some of that sweet good news, baby.
The good news is you'll just beat the best player here.
Hi, player. What's the bad news?
The streaming equipment got out, so it didn't record. And my fortunes didn't improve from there. After another wait of nearly 4 hours between that match and my last 16 match, I was once again caught cold and once again ended up losing 7-6. Which brings us neatly up to date with the focus of today's video, the tournament that took place at Groovetown Jack on February the 9th. I once again won my opening match and was once again drawn on the TV table, and this time the camera was recording. And wouldn't you know it, it's that top player who destroyed me in my second tournament, Christopher Piermanov, who told me he watched and really enjoyed the first episode of this series. So Christopher, if you're watching, thank you for the kind words, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And back to business, we joined the match pretty much at the start. It's winner breaks and a race to 7, and we're still at the double elimination stage, with both of us having won our opening games. In other words, this tie isn't a must-win for either of us, but it is a match that would be quite nice to win. The question is, can I? Let's join the action and find out.
No niin, siitä 5 mikä sää täällä Helsingin suunnalla. Aurinkoista iltapäivää Groovetown Jackista Helsingin Punavuoresta. Skapat on taas käynnissä, kaavio on taas täynnä, paitsi että yksi kaveri ilmoitti 15 minuuttia kisojen kaavion arpomisen jälkeen tuli yllättävä este, en pääse. Mutta 30 pelaajaa kuitenkin, se on varsin jees ja me saadaan streamin heti ensimmäiseen matsiin. Mielenkiintoinen pelipari Christopher Piermanov, joka muistaakseni voitti viime sunnuntaina, ja Nathan Virika, joka on pelannut suhteellisen hyvin tässä koko kevään. Ja tämä peli on osin live sen takia, että Nathanilla on oma YouTube-kanava, jossa mies suhtautuu varsin kriittisesti omaan pelaamisensa ja pariin muuhunkin juttuun, joten annetaan miehelle pikkusen ylimääräistä materiaalia. Hope you can find something useful in this one, Nate. Good luck.
Thank you, Tiro. And yes, in the immortal words of the great philosopher Sir Topham Hatt, circa 1984, you are
a really useful engine.
Loppuun tämän päivän puolella. Mutta minä hiljana tässä kohtaa pieneksi hetkeksi. Annetaan sen sijaan pelaajien selostaa omaa suorittamista. Nauttikaa. I've got to make sure that you won't hear me live, but Nate, mate, what the hell was that?
Well, exactly what it looked like. A desperate and poorly thought out shot by a player who's struggling to get going.
Oh, this is going to be so much fun leaving you nice little surprises.
Well, in the words of Prince Albert himself,
I love surprises.
In the recording. Enjoy, mate. Joo, ja ainakin minun silmään näyttää siltä, että tuohon peli kulkee tänäänkin oikein mainiosti. Saas nähdä, kuinka pitkälle se riittää tällä kertaa. Meidän kuolemapöydällä 10 on käynnissä. Erittäin mielenkiintoinen matsi tällä hetkellä. Siellä Kappe vääntää toista FPT-hurjaa Joonas Kotaa vastaan ja siellä tilanne on 75 pelatun minuutin jälkeen 4-4. Pöytä ilmeisesti aiheuttaa jonkun verran jännää molemmille pelaajille ja sen lisäksi kumpikaan niistä kahdesta ei halua hävitä tuota peliä. Mä oon ihan varma, että Kota haluaa sen päänahan ja Kappe taas puolestaan haluaa varmasti osoittaa dominointiaan. Joten saas nähdä, miten siinä matsissa käy. Ja Ruuskan Vesa on näköjään aloittanut urakkaansa toista siskoksista, eli Mikael on Liljebergia vastaan. Ja Mikael on näköjään vienyt ensimmäisen räkin nimiin, se johtaa peliä nyt 5-1. Tuossa hieman lyhyesti haastattelin toista siskoksista, eli Danielaa, joka sanoi, että hän on nuorisotalolla aikanaan pelannut itse asiassa aika paljon, joten pistää hieman miettimään, että onko se nelosen tasuri nyt ihan oikein, mutta sen verran alussa matkaa ollaan vielä, että minun mielestäni se on ihan ok. Ja pakko tässä kohtaa kehaista, että kyllä sen näkee, että Daniela on muutaman pallon jossain vaiheessa lyönyt, koska nainen säkittää varsin vakuuttavan näköisesti. Siinä ei välttämättä tarvitsisi kovinkaan paljon ylimääräistä duunia perustekniikan kanssa, niin täällä alkaisi useammalla kundilla punttitutista aina kuullessaan, että seuraava vastus on Daniel. Man, that was ballsy. Had you made the 9-ball, that would have been quite a stab.
Well, what can I say? I'm an exceptionally brave man. I've vaped in train stations and eaten vindaloos and everything.
Kodan ja Kapen matsi etenee myös. Siellä on näköjään Kape vihdoin ja viimein ottanut otetta sen verran, että mies on nyt hillillä ja Kota on 4, eli nyt on kyllä ensimmäistä kertaa Kodan pojalla sellainen paikka, että pitää ihan oikeasti osoittaa, että kuinka hyvät grindaustaidot miehellä on. Hyväthän ne on, mutta riittääkö ne Kapen tasosta pelaajaa vastaan, se jää nähtäväksi. It's almost as if you just sensed that I was going to say something positive about you. Your breaks are pretty good. I know some people have been complaining about Nathan's break being a little bit too soft, but I don't see a problem there. In any case, an easy miss.
No such thing as an easy miss when you're up against it. Not least when you're having to play a power shot and you've got no cue power.
And Christopher's playing safe. Whoops, that's gonna cost you. Joo, ja siis jos joku vielä ihmettelee, joku on liittynyt seuraan sen verran myöhään, että missä on aikaisemman kommentin aiheesta, niin tosiaan toinen pelaajista, eli Nathan pyörittää omaa YouTube-kanavansa, johon mies aina välillä haluaa kommentoida omaa billardin pelaamistaan täällä. Joten minä puolestani lupasin miehellä, että ainakin osa selostuksesta on sellaista, että mihin ei tarvitse enää yrittää arvailla, mitä kommenteissa puhutaan, joten mä nyt ainakin tämän matsin ajan heittelen hieman englantia tänne sekaan. Toivottavasti nyt kenelläkään ei mene maailmankirjat sekaisin tämän takia. Itse asiassa varmaan jossain kohtaa tullaan järjestämään sellainen eventti, joka tullaan kohdistamaan näin niin kuin striimaamisen osalta ihan kokonaan Suomen ulkopuolella. Siitä lisää sitten, kun sen aika on. Mutta keskitytään nyt toistaiseksi ihan vaan näihin meidän sunnuntai-kisoihin, josta tuli mieleeni sen verran, että sain sen verran päivitystä Groovetownin laajennuksesta, että alakerras alkaa olla valmista. Siellä on itse asiassa ollut valmista jo jonkun aikaa, mutta edelleen odotellaan viranomaisten hyväksyntää sille tilalle. Ja siihen menee se aika, mikä siihen menee. Ja Nymanin Pekka, joka luotettavasti päivittää aina tilanteita sitä mukaan, kun meikäläinen alkaa höpöttää liikaa tänne mikrofonin puolelle, kertoi mulle, että pöydän 10 matsi on päättynyt 7-4 Kapelle, eli Joonas pääsee nyt sitten pelaamaan hävinneiden puolelle. Ja nyt kyllä Nymanin Pekka heitti semmoisen tarjouksen kehiin, että se on hyvin, hyvin vaikea jättää huomiota. Mä tiedän, että suurin osa pelaajista karsastaa kymppipöytää sen hitauden ja äärimmäisen tiukkuuden vuoksi, mutta Nymanin Pekka sanoi, että hän menee sinne ihan milloin tahansa, jos vaan pääsee. Ja täällä on kaksi hyvin onnellisen näköistä herraa, eli Rafu ja Kauton Petri, jotka molemmat näyttää tosi onnellisilta ja tyytyväisiltä siitä, että pääsivät tuonne meidän kuoleman pöydälle. Rafu varsinkin tykkää siitä pöydästä kuulemma tosi paljon. No niin, kyllä tästä ihan matsi saadaan. Robin taas kovasti tarjoutuu menemään kannustamaan Rafua. Ja se on ilmeisesti kutakuinkin viimeinen asia, mitä Rafu omaa matsinsa haluaa Robin kannustamaan. Joten sinne se Robin nyt vaan hyökkää perään. Tämä on sellainen asia, jota mä olen hokannut jo koronaburin ajoista ja hoen sitä täällä vielä edelleenkin. Tämmöinen lämminhenkinen ja kannustava ilmapiiri, se on kertakaikkisen hienoa silloin, kun se tapahtuu. No niin, Toffa ottaa aikansa Tonesen kanssa. Sinänsä ei ollut mitään epäilystäkään siitä, että mies siitä tekisi, koska kun sulla on riittävän paljon lyöntejä alla viime viikoilta, niin tuollainen pallo ei pitäisi olla oikeastaan. Se tulee ihan mitään muuta kuin automaattinen suoritus. Toffa kuitenkin tällä kertaa otti aikansa sen kanssa ja sen seurauksena 9 keskeltä säkkiin ja nyt mies on jo 6-3 johdossa. Saas nähdä vieläkö Nathan tästä nousee. Ooh, this is not looking good for you, Nate.
Do you mean in the context of this match or just in life generally? Either way, I'm inclined to agree.
It's looking like a break and run. Ja samaan aikaan kun Nathan hakee tässä pöytää tyhjäksi, niin Siekkisen Niko on näköjään päättänyt ahkeroida oikein huolella. Mies on Vilpuria vastaan nyt 5-1 johdossa. Mikaela Liljeberg johtaa Ruskan Vesaa 5-3. Mirobag Juuso Ruotoisten mäkeä myöskin 5-3. Ja Petri Kauto on näköjään vienyt tuolla kolmopöydällä ensimmäisen räkin Rafael Brunstedtia vastaan, johtaa nyt 3-0. Okay, and that may just be the last shot Nathan gets in this match. I don't think Christopher's going to miss these remaining 4 balls. But not all hope is lost. Fortunately, Nathan still has 1 chance to make it to the top 16, after which we will switch to single elimination. Whoops. Oh my goodness. This is what's known as a titty hook. Christopher doesn't have a direct hit.
Yep, that's exactly what I played.
The cue ball is hiding behind the jaw of the center pocket. But I've seen him make these before. I've even seen him jump one of these. And there it is.
So yeah, didn't play great and Julie got beaten. But as Tiro pointed out, I wasn't out of it yet. And with the advantage of now not having to wait several hours for my next match, I duly took advantage, won my next 3 matches, and made it all the way to the semi-finals, which is where we rejoin the action.
Alright, and Joni breaks the first track, as is customary. One with the smaller handicap breaks the first track. And this is, like I've said before, this is Nathan's first semi-final. And since Nathan wants material for his own YouTube channel, which I warmly recommend you to check out, the guy's dry British humor is great stuff.
Oh, stop it. I'm all embarrassed now. Although, to be fair, it is brilliant. Do subscribe and check out some of my other videos if you've got an hour or 2 to spare.
Check out his channel called English Arsehole in Exile, if I remember correctly.
No, British arsehole in exile. If I'd said English, then the description of arsehole would be generally assumed and thus redundant.
Nathan's been steadily improving this whole year. He's played, what, 4 or 5 tournaments here, and he's always been in the top 8. And this is his first semi-final. He couldn't really get much tougher opposition than the guy he's playing right now. Jani Siekkinen. I think Jani is currently one of the top 5 players in this country.
Fuck.
And Jani's brother Nico is he has already secured his place in the other semi-final, and his opponent will be either Jonas Kota, one of the top 20 players in Finland, and the absolute number one at the moment, Kasper Matikainen, Kasper the Ghost. Very nice jump from Jani. I remember Jani being one of the first, if not the first person in Finland to have
An intense bukkake session.
Have the new men's jump queue.
Oh, right, yeah, that was going to be my second guess.
But as soon as he got it, his jump game jumped into an entirely new level. And there it is, 1-1. Jonas is still in the lead against Kasper. I wonder how long that will take. I know Jonas does not want to lose that match. Those guys, they played already one match in the earlier rounds, and that match was won by Kasper 7-4. And I'm pretty sure Jonas wants to get back at Kasper for that, but well, getting back at Kasper is much easier said than done. That's very nice to hear, Scott. It means that the god of algorithms has finally heard us and has started spreading links to our content.
Wish I could relate.
Also outside of Finland. And even if I say so myself, these Sunday tournaments here at Groovetown Jack in Helsinki, Finland, these are some of the toughest weekly competitions in Finland. We've got player material we've got the whole range from people who have only been playing for one or two tournaments all the way up to European champion level players such as Kasper. We still need to work a little bit on improving the tournament conditions so that we can start attracting even the last few pros who don't usually play here.
No! Don't make this tournament even harder to win. Yeah, if you're watching this and you are one of the other top players in Finland who hasn't come to Groovetown Jack yet, don't come. It's rubbish. You won't like it, I swear.
But we'll get there eventually. Yeah, the Finnish billiard streaming scene has been taking huge leaps forward ever since 24/7, the only professionally run private club in Finland, I suppose, started. Their streaming capabilities are way above anything else, but like, viewership has been going up for the last half a year. This channel has hit over 1,000 views per Sunday tournament, which is it's quite a lot for a weekly tournament in a game that's most definitely niche.
Niche? Niche?
How dare you!
But it's really good to see that pool is finally back on the rise, because it's been rather sad 40 years, which I'm sure everyone who's been following pool for the last 20 years or so will agree with.
Yep. Around the time I stopped playing in 2020, the game of pool entered a period of decline, but it's only started to recover from now that I've come back. Coincidence? I mean, yeah, obviously it is, but go with me, yeah?
Except fat lot of good it's doing me in this match. You may have noticed that I haven't had a shot yet, and that basically set the tone for the whole semi-final. Although I did get 1 or 2 chances later on, besides this pretty sick 2-9 plant to win frame 6, I wasn't able to do much more, and in the end...
Alright, that was a shot played by a man who knows he's winning. Yes, 7-2 to Jani Siekkinen. That was...
I lost.
Majesty.
But, much like at the end of the last video, I have a lot of positives to take away from the tournament. First, and obviously most importantly, a lot of people in the chat during the live stream were being very complimentary about my boots. Secondly, I achieved a new personal best at Groovetown Jack by reaching the semi-finals.
And the €50 prize money went at least some way towards covering the bar bill I racked up during the 11 hours I was there.
Thirdly, I am now competing with, and occasionally beating, some of the best players in the country on a consistent basis.
And finally, those consistent performances have meant that, at least according to the Groovetown Jack Q-score rankings, I am now, officially, the 6th best player
in the world.
Now, I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to bring you the next episode in this series, but in the meantime, rest assured that I've well and truly caught the pool bug again, and I will continue to
make a good lucha
pool
thing.
So, that's it. I'll be back with new content as and when I have it, but in the meantime, feel free to put... Sorry to interrupt portly post-Christmas me from a couple of months ago, but during the making of this video, there was a bit of a development. Now, Tiro mentioned during his commentary on my semi-final that there's another place called Biliardi 24/7 that happens to be nearby, and it turns out they run a Tuesday night competition. So last night, I decided to go and check it out. We joined the action in the final. Okay, it's my break for thing we write. Yeah. I achieved a thing! So yes, the real positives to take from this video are that I've won my second ever 9-ball tournament, my first in over 10 years, and that my record of having won at least one Q Sport title in every decade I've been alive remains intact. Join me at some point in the 2030s to see if I can keep that one going. Anyway, back to the outro I keep reusing for all my videos on account of being too lazy to record a new one I've already got on the channel. And don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, ring the bell, tell all your mates, etc. I may be a relative novice to this YouTube stuff, but I'm already painfully aware that trying to get a channel off the ground is an absolute bastard. So any help you lot can give me would be much appreciated.
You may be interested to know that I'm also on Instagram, and despite Elon Musk's best efforts, I'm still knocking around on the 4chan-esque hellscape formerly known as Twitter, and I shall put the links in the description.
So, I shall sod off for now. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll hopefully see you all again very soon.